So on Tuesday, the Dow Jones set yet another record. So did the S&P 500. The Dow was up 742 points. That's up about 2%. Also on Tuesday, President Biden said that he was finalizing plans to endorse major changes to the Supreme Court in the coming weeks, which has been overcome by right-wing extremism and rampant corruption. President Biden's proposals include proposing legislation to establish term limits for the justices and an enforceable ethics code. Also, President Biden is considering proposing a constitutional amendment to eliminate the absolute presidential immunity provided to Donald Trump by the United States Supreme Court's recent ruling. So with all of that happening, what is Donald Trump doing? Well, first, Donald Trump is trying to take credit for the booming stock market under President Biden. Donald Trump posted, Dow Jones up 742 based on the fact that the market expects a Trump win in November. Nice compliment. Thank you. I mean, do you get any more pathetic than that? As we posted on the MeidasTouch network, gonna say it's because the incoming Fed rate cuts, interest rate cuts, low inflation, better than expected consumer spending reports, and the report that retail sales are booming. But it's good to see that Donald Trump is a fan of the Biden economy. What else is Donald Trump posting? He's posting the following. The radical left Democrats are desperately trying to play the ref by calling for an illegal and unconstitutional attack on our sacred, he puts that in caps, United States Supreme Court. The reason that these communists are so despondent is that their unlawful, and look how he spells that, witch hunts are failing everywhere. The Democrats are attempting to interfere in the presidential election and destroy our justice system by attacking their political opponent, me, and our honorable Supreme Court. We have to fight for our fair and independent courts and protect our country, MAGA 2024. Nothing really independent when the justices you appoint overturn about 248 years involving the central premise of our country that no one is above the law. And the Supreme Court found that you should be entitled to absolute immunity to allow you to order SEAL Team 6 to kill your political opponents, and that you can get away with whatever you want. And also, a federal judge you appointed in the Southern District of Florida, named the corrupt Judge Eileen Cannon, ruled that the special counsel is an unlawful position and therefore dismissed a case in which you stole nuclear secrets and war plans and kept them in Mar-a-Lago. But notably, Federal Judge Eileen Cannon was confining her ruling only to the case in the Southern District of Florida involving your crimes. But apparently, when Republicans appoint special counsels to go after people like Hunter Biden, then that is a permissible use of a special counsel, and it is authorized. But when it's against you, it is improper. Also, you have people at the Republican National Convention wearing on their ears like white Post-its or like white sheets on their ears so that they can show solidarity with Donald Trump. That's kind of one step, I think, slightly above where the MAGA Republicans were quite literally wearing diapers at the various Trump rallies. By the way, fact check true by Snopes. But then, of course, you turn on your propaganda media. And folks, doesn't this literally look like the types of propaganda media you see in Russia with Vladimir Putin or in North Korea with Kim Jong-un? Aren't we so much better than this? Does the corporate media just think that we are stupid, that we the people don't get it? Just take a look at this. Here on Fox, you have Maria Bartiromo attributing the massive economic boom and stock market boom to the fact that Donald Trump picked J.D. Vance as his VP pick. Play the clip.
Trump trade again today, Maria. Watching some of these sectors and these stocks move has been absolutely fascinating. Wall Street is on this train.
All right. We appreciate everybody joining us here.
And then you have Larry Kudlow, who's been wrong on just about everything, who worked in the Trump administration, who now is a host on Fox Business, which is just more propaganda, says that the record highs in the stock market, well, they are responding to Trump's economic platform. He says that this is responding to the Republican National Convention. I mean, come on. How pathetic can you get? Here, play the clip.
But you cannot have Trump's growthy platform without Trump. And I think that's had a big impact on the stock market. Just in the last 2 days, it's up over 1,000 points, almost out of the blue. And so I think the God's gift that Senator Britt talked about, people of faith come to this easily, I think it's having a major impact. It ripples throughout the country. People are saying there's a sigh of relief. I mean, I think they're rooting for him. Completely different from what might have been 2, 3, 4 years ago.
Yeah, and Larry.
Hey, Midas Mighty. So a little while ago, we had the idea that we wanted to sell the best pro-democracy merchandise in the game for the MeidasTouch network. And candidly, we had no idea where to even get started. That's why I'm so glad that we found Shopify. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business, from the launch your online shop stage to the first real life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million order stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere, from their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms, and sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. We use Shopify at store.meidastouch.com, and it has completely revolutionized our business. It allows us to easily manage our shop, view analytics, provide the best customer service, and streamline our entire online shopping experience from A to Z. We wouldn't be able to bring you all the products you know and love without Shopify, and we can't speak highly enough about it. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US, and Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds and Rothy's and Brooklinen and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning help is there to support your success every step of the way, like they were there for us here on the MeidasTouch network. Because businesses that grow with Shopify, and we can attest to that. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Meidas, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Meidas to take your business to the next level today. Shopify.com/Meidas. And by the way, we shouldn't judge our economy just on the stock market, but corporate media sure did that when Donald Trump was in office. Every day, if the stock market was up, we would hear the economy's booming because of Donald Trump, which it wasn't. Let's be very clear. The stock market under President Biden is double what it was under Donald Trump. Remember when Donald Trump said that if Biden was in office, the stock market was going to crash? Here, play this clip.
They said the stock market will boom if I'm elected. If he's elected, the stock market will crash.
Okay. 12 seconds later.
So this just happened during the commercial break. The Dow 30 broke 40,000 for the first time in history. It hit 40,000.56 and then retreated just a couple of points. We closed above 30,000. Never closed above 40,000 before. Maybe it happens today. Maybe it doesn't. We'll see. Dow closed above 30,000 for the first time on November 24th, 2020. That was only 3.5 years ago. Dana, I can remember 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we're putting people on the air talking about the books they've written about Dow 40,000. I thought they were nuts. And yet here it is today.
And now when the stock market's booming, Donald Trump says it's because of him. I mean, it's just absolutely pathetic. But by the way, the stock market isn't how we should be judging our economy. We should be judging our economy also by our wages increasing. Yes, they are. Do we have other economic metrics that are important? Low unemployment. Unemployment's been at its longest stretch basically in American history. Is the GDP increasing? Yes, our GDP is increasing at record highs because of actual policy that President Biden has engaged in, like the Inflation Reduction Act and the Infrastructure Act. and the CHIPS Act and reducing healthcare costs and doing things like that. He's gotten inflation under control to meet the targets of the Fed. And also, don't let the media gaslight us. Inflation didn't just pop up like some storm. The reason that there was inflation is because Donald Trump added record debt to the United States. $7, $8, $9 trillion in debt was added by Donald Trump. Trump recklessly printed money and tried to print money as a way to get out of COVID. And then he totally mishandled the PPP program, prioritizing millionaires, decamillionaires, and billionaires with benefits over regular people. That's why MAGA Republicans frequently were getting their debt forgiven under the PPP. But when you inject that much money into the economy like that so recklessly, that's the result. When you give tax cuts for billionaires and aren't able to pay for it, that's the result. By the way, don't believe me. Why don't you believe a Republican? Here, this is a Republican talking about it. Here, play this clip. And I think you know who this is. Let's play it.
And you know who else is missing in action? Donald Trump is missing in action. He should be on this stage tonight. He owes it to you to defend his record where they added $7.8 trillion to the debt. That set the stage for the inflation that we have now.
Now, compare that to President Biden's speech before the NAACP. Here's what President Biden said. I know what a black job is, because remember, Donald Trump said that there are black jobs. And he says there are black jobs and the immigrants are coming for the black jobs. Black jobs. What are you talking about? What President Biden had to say.
Oh, I'm serious. Go figure. From a guy who spread the birthism lie against Barack Obama, saying he wasn't born in America and he wasn't a U.S. citizen. Of course, here's what he thinks of black jobs. I love his phrase, black jobs. It tells a lot about the man and about his character. Folks, I know what a black job is. It's the Vice President of the United States. I know what a black job is. The first black president in American history, Barack Obama.
Here's what President Biden had to say about medical debt. Play the clip.
We're going to end medical debt. We've already made sure medical debt can no longer be put on a credit report. Well, I'm working with states to wipe out medical debt for pennies on the dollar so it's not hanging over you the rest of your life.
Here's what President Biden had to say about the real statistics, not Trump's fraud, the real statistics about black unemployment hitting a record low under the Biden administration. Play the clip.
COVID no longer controls our lives. Our economy is not figuratively, literally, the strongest economy in the world. Historic low black unemployment. Record growth in black small businesses. Let me say this again, because Trump is lying like hell about it. The black unemployment hit a record low under Biden-Harris administration. The first bill I passed would put $1,400 checks plus $300 checks per child, per family, per month in the pockets of people in this country to get them through the pandemic. Not Trump's administration. Kamala and I did that.
And here's President Biden talking about shootings that are taking, mass shootings in the United States. Here, play the clip.
You understand, if you're going to talk about standing against violence, you must stand against all violence. You must stand against violence perpetrated against presidential candidates in Pennsylvania. You must stand against all violence. The violence perpetrated against George Floyd of Minnesota. Against black veterans like police officers Eugene Goodman on January 6th. And black election workers like Ruby Freeman and Shane Moss in Atlanta. You have to stand against the violence and intimidation of white supremacy, the murder, innocent lives in that grocery store in Buffalo, New York when I went up there. Mother Emanuel Church in Charleston, South Carolina. Was standing against the violence that murdered children in Sandy Hook and Uvalde. Concert goers in Las Vegas. Innocents on the street all across America that never make the news. There's Uvalde every day in the communities across the country. If you're going to be outspoken on one, don't be silent on others. If we're going to speak about violence, we're going to speak about guns. More children in America die of a gunshot wound than any other reason. That's stunning and that is sick. And it's sheer cowardness if we do nothing about it. So, if you want to stand against violence in America, then join me in getting these weapons of war off the streets of America.
So you have that taking place. And on the other hand, you got MAGA leaders like Marjorie Taylor Greene yelling at reporters at the RNC like this. Here, play this clip.
Let's talk about people like you.
Where's your evidence
let's talk
of
about
that?
people like you
But where's your
that
evidence of those
demonize
claims?
people like me, President Trump. You know, I have some of the most highest amount of death threats because of people like you. Because you choose to only take certain words from people, and then that's what you want to report. Shame on you. Shame on you.
But
Because
where's your
no. You're the problem. And where's this woman from?
The Times.
You're from the
London.
Times. Okay, you're ridiculous. And you're the problem in our country. You lie about people like me. This is the first time you've ever talked to me. I want you to know I'm a regular person like you. I'm also a mom. I have 3 kids. And we have to put up with the most unreal amount of bullshit because of little liars like you that take your job and turn it into political activism. Your job is the press. You should report the news. Not lie about it. You don't get to ask any more questions. I'm done with you. Okay. Because you're the cause. You're
One
the
more thing.
cause
You
of
call
our
the
country.
Democrats a
No.
party
You're
of
the cause of
pedophiles.
our
Do you have any
country being
response to
divided.
that?
You're the cause of our country being divided. You're the cause of President Trump almost being assassinated. You're the cause of everything wrong
where's
in
your
America.
evidence of those
No,
claims?
you're done. You're done. Yeah, go back.
Thank
Go back.
you.
JD.
And then, by the way, you have Donald Trump sending unhinged emails like this. This was the email that Trump sent yesterday. Ben, I'll be looking for your response. My question for you. I'm pretty sure I know the answer now that JD Vance is my VP nominee. Will you pledge to vote for us? And then Donald Trump goes, my plan for JD Vance. But that's the subject. My plan for JD Vance. JD Vance, I need you to stop the invasion at the southern border. Let's be clear. Border crossings right now are down and are less than when Trump was in office. I need you to deport every illegal and make America safe again. One of the things Donald Trump says he'll do on day one is he's going to round up people who he believes are not here legally, round them up and have the biggest mass deportation. Just want you to think about what that's going to look like as law enforcement starts knocking on your doors, searching for people on day one. It says, JD Vance, I need you to help rebuild our economy from Crooked Joe's destruction. Again, so much for the tone today, the tone change and end inflation and make America wealthy again. Or do you mean prioritize wealthy Americans in? Because all I see is these billionaires saying that because of Trump's promised tax cuts, they're willing to sell out our democracy again. And President Biden has got inflation under control now, thanks to actually doing things and not waking up and whining every day with all caps posts like a little freaking child. And then he goes, JD Vance, I need you to help end our humiliation overseas. I need your help to make America strong again. NATO has never been stronger than it is right now. The 75th annual NATO conference, the anniversary of NATO, was held here in the United States. New members were welcomed into NATO. Our alliances abroad have never been stronger. Do not want America has alliances with frickin' Putin and Kim Jong-un. And if you think that's not what they're going to do, that's what they are saying. So we have a corporate media, billionaire, decamillionaire class who are trying to sell us out. They're trying to sell you out. And I'm not trying to use hyperbolic rhetoric. That's what is happening. And the good news is that collectively, we've created this network together to call them out and expose them. This is a mask off moment for what they are trying to do. And it's right before our eyes. We, the people, want law and order. We, the people, don't want the drama. We don't want the infantile wannabe fascism. We don't want that. We want normalcy. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million together. Thanks for watching.
Hey Midas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.